Alright, today's League of Empires casting session is on. And we have Team Islands here, the first match between Russia F and Villains. I didn't do my homework, so I don't know whose home map this is, but I kind of suspect it's Villains. So we'll see. It's a bit of a slow start on Team Islands, so let's just jump into it. Tor, earlier known as Plogen as well, is changed his nickname recently by the looks of it. He's playing in the green as Portuguese in the pocket position. So Portuguese obviously one of the strongest naval civs out there. They have so many things going for them. Faster researching of technologies, isn't it? And then you have the cheaper gold units as well, obviously applying to ships. Unique units, Caravel, that I'm going to get back to why is useful for Portuguese on island maps against certain civilizations. And yeah, overall, one of the absolute best naval civs out there. Some bonuses up, more bonuses applying to ships as well. And Conqueror with the Japanese, another good naval civ that saves 50 wood per each resource drop-off point, like the lumber camp, only costing 50 wood. Saves you some wood to get into the fish boom earlier, and the Japanese fishing ships also have extra hit points on armor and work a bit faster, so you could have a nice and smooth uptime with Japanese on water maps and also more easily defend your fish. On the top side, HJFE, let's just call him Hoye, playing as the Vikings, and not from pocket position. And I can see that as a potential weakness for water, since Vikings will usually backdock and aim for a faster castle and get to the longboat, because Vikings don't have fire ships in the village, or they don't get fire ships at all. But they have cheaper docks, that's a team bonus. And yeah, we'll probably be playing feudal galleys here, Hoye, since he's on flank. Believe me, in the yellow with the Vikings pocket here. And thing about Portuguese pocket on the other side is that the Portuguese Caravel, they do very nicely against the Vikings longboats. One of the few naval civs that have a good response to the Vikings longboat play. There is Vikings on, believe me, on the Russian FS team here as well, though. Or there's Vikings on both teams, so we might see longboats from both players. Good game with the Italians. Cheaper, up through the ages. Opens for a good power spike for your units going to the next age. 2 villagers dropping the dock there for a good game. So good game might have been a bit late to dropping it here. Luring in the boar with the scout, as is common on islands, because you won't run into enemy scouts in the Dark Age. So it affects the economy a bit here. But yeah, we'll probably be early up for the Italians here and pump out those ships nice and early on. And finally there's Portuguese for Oladocek as well. So the only difference between these two teams is that Good Game has Italians and Kong Forever has Japanese, otherwise it's the same civilization. OMG, 14. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. Anyway. I mean, for Team Islands, each team has one island, good, huge surface area, so you always risk seeing landings, especially if you're falling behind and losing water. You could attempt a landing to even things out, but these aren't typical landing civs. I could see both Portuguese and Japanese attempting it, though, with Portuguese maybe going knights or archers. For both of them, Japanese could go archers as well. But this looks like going to be a naval fighting. What are their 1v1 elos? Kong is mid 1700s, low 1800s. Tor is also in this 1750, 1800s. HJ is a bit lower in 1v1. He is currently in the close to 1600s. He's an amazing team game player, so his team game elo is... I mean, it's definitely a better player in team games than in 1v1. Is just good reading of maps and game situations, and certainly able to contest 1700 and 1800 players and above in team games. As for Russia F, Oladocek also in the 1600s, 1700s, I think. And believe me, I'm not too sure. You could try !rank in the chat with the player nickname. And I think also Good Game has actually been above 2k 1v1 elo at some point. Look at him walling here to prevent landing. Nice. They're scared. Oh, this isn't the most interesting stat. You can look at idle TC time. Here is it's overall lower for villains here, so they seem to have an economy lead, 73 to 70. Their uptimes are slightly slower though. Yeah, it's the first division. It's a pretty high elo among the players indeed. But I'll do a third division set after. Going up to the feudal age in Russian here. 5 fishing ships versus 4 there, so no too significant difference here. 2 docks for HJ here is the Vikings and is in the feudal age getting double bit axe. He has 3 in gold, so I think he means to invest in the feudal age of water, going to feudal galleys. Tor with the back dock here with Portuguese, only 2 fishing ships. But I'm pretty sure he's still aiming for a faster castle approach here. He does have a barracks up though, so maybe he's thinking about the landing actually. Three docks for Ladashek, so he's really going to take some responsibility on water here. Believe me, has some galleys out as well. 3 docks from the Vikings. Vikings pocket. They're definitely going for water control here. Russia F. Look at the military count, 10 to 8. And chasing Kong a bit in the south here. Kong could hit and run with the galleys, but can he hold off the offenses here without losing the fish? I'm not sure he can alone here. And remember, all of Russia have the docks in front, whereas Tor has the dock in the back here, so he's not going to be contributing as easily to the naval fighting here. Nice numbers from Kong though. He does lose 1 fish here. Those tanky Japanese fishing ships, they're holding up nicely here. If you don't let those fire galleys close to your galleys, then you could definitely hit and run and take some good fights here. I think Kong even... Oh, that was a nice move. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not. Looks like the fish dropped off there, but he did actually... Fishing ship there actually blocked the weak galley, so the galley survives at 3 hit points here. There is a 2v1 down south here though, and Kong is going to struggle against this because now he can't comfortably hit and run anymore. He's also lacking fletching, one upgrade that Believe Me has for the Vikings galleys here. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Kong to hold off. He tries to relocate the fish to keep having some fluid income here, but yeah, he's very outnumbered unfortunately, and there's not much help to be had from Tor in the pocket just yet. Backside HJ is taking a beating as well. He has 4 docks up in his defense, but he's going to need more galleys to hold this off no matter what here. Russia F now with 28 military to 21 of villains. There is some green shenanigans going on here, so it is actually a landing from Tor from the pocket position. That's not... Yeah, that's a bit surprising that they go with the landing from pocket, but Good Game seems to have the scouting on point here to see the ranges and already have preemptively walled down here. So I'm not sure how much the Portuguese pocket will accomplish here. It does manage to get to the Vikings pocket though. Yeah, when did it land? I guess before the naval battles started. Bully there. A decent chunk of archers on land here for Tor. He has fetching obviously because he's forward with archers, but insofar he doesn't do too much damage. He places some forward houses around Believe Me space. You could even lay in these golds now and wall them in if he wants to. Uh-oh. That's a bit unfortunate, losing the scout to TC fire like that, but forcing a tower of Believe Me as well is going to delay any extra TCs. Let's have a look to the south side here for villains. Kong is losing his docks here, sadly. He's still has some galleys in queue, but I think he's left with just one dock here. He's placed a few new ones in the back here, so maybe there's some potential for Kong here to get his numbers back up. But looking at the overall naval numbers here, it doesn't look too bright. HA with 15 galleys as well. However, Oladeshek is on the way up to the castle age, and he's going to beat everyone else to it all, as well as good game here. Yeah, this is, I mean, you could hit and run, of course, but it's just not not enough mass here for HJ to take out all of these. He's going to make the best of it, hit and run with the galleys here, focus firing one fire galley at a time, and he has more reinforcement in the back. A good engagement, actually, and seeing as Oladeshek is away to the castle age, of course, he wants to preserve his numbers as best he can. Back to the landing, double ranges still producing consistently for Thor here. He is going to be quitting to the fuel age for a while. The market on the enemy land, he could trade with this one once it goes up. That's not going to generate a lot of gold. Archers and Skur. It's just being a pain in the ass here on the enemy island, while Kong and HA are fighting for their lives on water. Interesting. Look at the villager count is just slightly ahead for Russia F here, but they definitely have the technology lead with 2 players reaching the castle age now, which will also give them war galleys and fire ships. Great engagements from HA again, though, seeing as Oladeshek won't have a lot of fire galleys to benefit from the fire ship right here. War galley on the way for Oladeshek, and he's flowing constant gold units behind there as well. That's a bit of a trap for HA's galleys, and this is going to be big losses for HA now. He has war galley 30-something seconds away, and well, yes, more on the way. No demos here, sadly, but let's see if he can turn these armies around now. Yeah, it gets worse with the fire ships, though. They have more HP, more damage output. Not a too scary number for Oladeshek against the quick and easily microed feudal age galleys of HA, though. Yeah, he backs off again. That's good. HA on the way to the castle age as well, and the whole team of bills now has a villager lead for now. But once they reach the castle age, that's gonna switch up. Believe me, in the back here now, castle age still on the way for the Vikings pocket, as Oladeshek is extending the economy on land. Thor still being annoying here on land, now dropping a stable even as well. Might want to pump out some knights here, double stable knights for the Portuguese. Some serious annoying land action here. But obviously no fish income for Thor here. He's going to lose his one and only dock to believe me's forward with the galleys here. Maybe soon to be war galleys for the Vikings. Yeah, I think water is more or less lost for villains here. HJ is trying to escape. The problem is that there are lots of Russia F armies down here as well. So if he runs to the corner, he could get flanked by the other 2 armies, and he's going to lose all of his galley mass. Kong is making the best of it again. He's trying to get more docks up here, but doesn't look too pretty overall. And yes, villains definitely going on land here. Crossbow is in for the Portuguese player Thor here. The issue is that if you don't control water on Team Island, nothing's to stop the other team from landing on villains' side. Good game actually has landed here, so I missed another landing. But yeah, so that's going to be hurtful here. Let's see if Kong... He doesn't see it! He doesn't see it! Oh, man! Oh, Kong! That's so unfortunate. And now they definitely need to react on land here to solve this. That's a potential wall up there. But then there's siege pushing this side. If you pop out a monk or some scorpions or something here, you could render this whole woodland useless and force Kong to relocate. There's this flare now, yes, they've landed me. Attention, attention. And Russia F now with, yeah, overall more DCs, more economy than villains. That's going to escalate. Siege Workshop up in defense for Kong, but is he going to be able to produce mangonels enough in time here? Remember the knights being produced by Good Game as well. Look at this mass of knights! Good Game is just not focusing that much on water anymore. They're kind of won water here with for Russia. So now they're engaging on land on the enemy side. Kong with a couple of defensive TCs, so he has fairly protected gold income here. As we can see from the army here, it's not really any significant naval army for villains at this point. Yeah, very good raids from Good Game here. I think if we look at the Eco KD, Thor has actually killed 18 villagers though, so kudos to the green player for making a successful and annoying landing, just casually chopping some wood here. But now someone needs to help Kong, or Kong needs to help himself. There are knights here on the field that if that mangonel pops out accidentally, that's going to be a significant loss for Kong, because he can't really... He needs a lucky hit in on the enemy siege here now, because there are 7 knights already out. Oh, nice monk snipes though. Using the TC to protect here. Looks like there might be something happening in the north as well, though. Didn't HA get some kind of... Yeah, I don't know. HA dropping double stables with the Vikings there. Doable, but sub-optimal. And yeah, lots of idle time cost on Russia F side because of Thor's successful forward here. Yeah, that's one TC eaten for forever. He's losing units rapidly here now. Maybe we should actually toggle the actual KD here now for the players and see it's very much on the positive side for Russia F here. Ian, Thor's defense is still doing work on the other side. He's basically hitting all 3 players simultaneously here. It's getting lots of kills down. But with so much siege on land, siege and presence on land from Good Game over here, I think the clock is ticking for villains here to make a sensational comeback. They're down 30 villagers now, and also down 30-ish army. Good Game is happy with the damage done in the south side on Kong now. Now it's going to go for the Green Pocket, who has most of his, not most, all of his army production over on the enemy island. So this is going to be a disaster for Thor if the siege and knights make it over here. So many knights from the Italians here. 15 knights, 2 monks, 3 rams. Still fire on water as well. Kong relocating a bit to the right hand side there, but the home base of villains has seriously been compromised now. Do Italians get bloodlines? We should be able to see that. That would be in by now if that's the case, and I think they do. Ah, okay, maybe not. Only 100 HP, so they're basically... Italians do get husbandry though, so they're outmatching Vikings in speed. And HA is being outnumbered here. 3 rams, panic attacks by Thor with the villagers here. He's dropping a siege workshop forward on Good Games, no, on the Oladeshek's side here. But Ladusek has 3 TCs around here and some deep siege of his own to defend. I guess you still have to react here if you're Russia F, but also you should be very comfortable with the position being 50 villagers and 40 army ahead here. I see a flare in the middle. That would be the Green Knights of Thor here trying to take out some dogs, but on the right hand side on VLNS home base, that's where the action is going down now. Thor has gotten some stables up as well, but Good Game is dropping wars, going full Knights and Siege on Team Islands here with the Italians against villains who refuse to give up just yet. They lost water, they're about to lose their home island, but they're fighting valiantly and producing army on home field now. This only one player landed for Russia F after all, so in theory it could be a 3 vs 1 situation for villains here on land. Believe me, with some Vikings Knights as well. I haven't seen this many Vikings Knights for a while. And yeah, monks healing up these masses. It's going to be tough for villains to contest the production. We see Pikeman has been teched here by HJ in the blue, but now we also have 2 players from Russia F going to the Imperial Age, which will unlock a Cavalier and a stronger naval. Obviously, not that Russia F need that at this point. And yeah, slowly but steadily the threat on land from villains is being dealt with as well. I'm guessing the 40 villagers are down here, yeah. They're lost for Thor, so the only thing he can do now is use his existing buildings to provide more army. Hey Akkal-AOE, whose home map is this? I'm gonna see if I can find it. I think it might be villains, but I'm gonna see if I can find it in the recorded games tab. Yes, this is villains' home map. Thanks for checking, you're welcome. Okay, defensive castle for Kong here on the stone at home. Did he actually trap the knights here? Are you kidding me? Oh no, it's opening. It's a pity. That could have actually forced Good Game to delete the Siege Workshop there if that trap worked. Ah, pity. Are they actually cleaning these up though? The Good Game is down to 8 knights. Obviously, the damage has been severe here. If you look at the villagers killed, 51 villagers killed. Cox lost 41 villagers. Thor, however, he's killed 78 villagers on the enemy side, so he's done work here and still doing work with his landing as well. Landing might be fought back here, though, but look at the eco difference. Even if Russia F, in theory, may have lost more villagers here, it's 50-60-ish villagers lead for Russia F that did get earlier to the gas stage and to the multiple TCs, not to mention they still have control over water and the extra food income that might imply. Longboats on the field for Believe Me, actually. While villains are trying to clear back the forward here, but there's buildings over here that could produce more for Good Game as well as the Kong with a massive rebuild in the middle of an enemy monk here, which Good Game has left to supervise the enemy workers. And there's also the issue of progression here. Look at the Imperial Age for villains here. Pairs on land. For the Vikings player, so we'll have Vikings, Condotieros, and Pikemen here from the Vikings player. Vikings, extra hit points on the military, 10% extra, 20% extra hit points on the infantry. Don't remember, 10 or 20. Keep messing that up. But yeah, definitely stronger Condottiero option. You don't need to research anything to get to Condottiero, right? If you have an Italian teammate and are in Imperial Age, you could just spam them out of your barracks. And now Russia F are in it to end it here. And I think that villains don't have any response to Condottieros at this point. That's a good call against the pikemen here. That should work out just fine for Believe Me. And even if HA has numbers, it shouldn't be enough. You can see that all of the defense upgrades are in for the infantry for Believe Me as well. So this should be the death blow because we don't stop this easily. Especially given that they have Imperial Age upgrades as well. Otherwise, you might make an argument for Cast Age Knights, even Vikings Knights, appropriate upgrades. But 112 million to 18 now, and almost, well, more than 100 builders more for Russia. This game has to be coming to an end very soon. Oh, Samurai, good call by Kong Forever, actually. That I don't know if Condottiero is counting like a unique unit, but I think they might. And the Samurai are still strong against most other infantry options. So, a good call by Kong there. It's just that it's not enough to take villains back into the game. They're down to half the villagers of the opponents now. Landing from the pocket, that probably came as a surprise to Russia F here, but not enough to throw Russia off their game at their away map. The goes to Russia. Let's see for the stats here. Just for fun. Hola, hola. Snakk norsk? No. Okay, alright. Military score tops for a good game here. Some solid landing presence there. All players getting double attacks fairly early here. KD 177 to 65. That's some solid KD for Believe Me there. And although check, though I didn't follow his gameplay a lot, he definitely did his work as well. Boomed like a madman here and equalized to relics. The uptimes should show surprisingly that Italians didn't go up first here, even with their cheaper uptime. Could have gone up at a little bit more population maybe. I didn't keep complete track of that. And then earlier cast stages all over for Russia. Society score should show a significant villagers lead as well. Earlier to the multiple DCs. Free fish access after winning water. Oh, let's give Russia F1 point here. And find the next king. Hooray! Next. We have some savings at work here. Oh, Capture Age, please be my friend today. I might need to restart it. Okay, this doesn't look too promising. Let's... Oh, I'm dropping frames here as well. I don't like that. Okay, Capture Age, my friend. Yeah, I'd like a lot of games. They're constantly working on the performance, but yeah, it doesn't. It's supposed to late game. It should be okay. It's just a matter of unit mass and stuff. Okay, I think we have it here, and it is Arena for VLNS versus Russia F. Russia F up. Russia F are up 1-0. And we just saw Team Islands, which was VLNS home maps. This is actually Russia F home map for Arena. And I love casting Russia F because they are not your typical meta playing team. They're not great. They're good at the typical night archers play, scouts archers play, but they tend to have some interesting stuff with them. You're a robot, by the way. Why does that happen? Don't. Alright, the voice choppy. I hope it will sort itself out. It's something weird, but I hope it's now. Could be too much going on here. I might need to go back into participating if it continues this way. And hey, Beowulf. Good to see you. It's friendly. Okay, let's hope the sound is okay here, and let's talk a little about the players. Good game with the Lithuanians in the pocket. Likely the highest rated player of... It's not fixed. Okay. Then let's just abandon the capture idea and hope that that frees up some stuff here. Need to check this. No. Okay, if my voice is still choppy, there's not too much I can do about it, I think. Now it's okay. Okay. So suddenly there's performance issues again. Weird. Well, we'll stick with the in-game spectating for this one then. And get to the Sids here. Lithuanians for good game. Fantastic. Paladin civilization getting +1 attack per relic they collect. Up until a max of 4 relics. So I would expect to see some paladins, knights, paladins play here. Maybe some scouts for map control for the relics as well, as that will be important for the Lithuanians. To the left side with Oladosek playing as the Aztecs. So he has access to Eagle Warriors, Elite Eagle Warriors as the game goes on. A very strong infantry, if needed, could come in handy to hold off against enemy halberdiers if they go into halberdiers against the Lithuanians. Cavalry here. And yeah, Aztecs have decent enough archers as well. They get Arbalest, but they don't get Thumbring. So arguably a huge upgrade to be missing against enemy cavalry. And finally, believe me, with the Chinese here. Bit of an odd choice for Arena, considering that Chinese are missing 150 food and 50 wood to start the game. But then again, you start with 3 extra villagers, and that's an advantage you could try and keep by idling sort of as little as possible. Looks like, believe me, is keeping that advantage. You need to take Loom straight away with Chinese, which is the what you usually take Loom right away with the Chinese. But by the looks of, believe me here, did not take Loom and went straight into collecting food instead, so as not to idle the TC more than absolutely necessary. It's a bit of an interesting approach, but it's not unheard of for closed maps like Arena, where the food sources are usually much closer to your TC and more easily obtainable. 3 farms already as well, So believe me, really doesn't want to risk any more idle TC time here. Going to stone now? Believe me, it's going to. That's what I mean with Russia. If they're not your typical go-to players, 3 on stone already for Believe is almost as if you'd think they were going for a tower rush or something. And the timer says 8:30 for now. Not on the way up yet though, so it's probably not a tower rush, but it has to be some kind of castle drop Jukonu shenanigans here. Interesting. Right, for villains, we have HJ in the pocket, now going to gold. He's picked his absolute favorite civ, the Franks. Going to play probably 4 or 5 DC boom here into cavalry play. Hello, another check. Maybe market. Yeah, that could be it as well. Venture about to sell stone for gold with the market. So yeah, we're gonna see Frank's cavalry here for sure. Not often you see Franks going for anything else. Kong with the Mayans to the top side here. Mayans, Aztecs in the top. So Mayans have better archers, and with El Dorado, I'd almost say that Mayans have better eagles as well. But I don't know how Garland War's extra attack elite eagles from Aztecs do against Mayans with 40 HP extra. I haven't really seen that. They're flaring some relic location and stuff on the field there. And finally Thor with the Vietnamese. More hit points on the archers. He's going to go into the Rattan archers here, I think, because he's with 3 on stone for a potential castle as well. So we'll see how it plays out here. Thanks for the follow, Hibba Bibba. Hi, Rushef. You with them, Hibba Bibba? Rushef. Nice. So yeah, players approaching the feudal age here. We'll see what's the plan there. There is the blacksmith market for Believe Me, so maybe when Chobawa was onto something here that he wants to use the market to click up. And cast age on the way for Olajek. The first player going up here is 27 population up for the Aztecs. The market blacksmith for Olajek as well. Not on stone. It's not like Jaguar Warriors serve a purpose in the early cast age here. So that would have to be caster for protection. What Aztecs could do is go for a siege monk push. And because the Aztecs, they get extra hit points on the monk for every research text from the monk text tree, so they should have a very strong monk siege push. I'm not sure if I see that applying versus Mayans though, who will probably have an early castle for plumed archers or have regular archers in the queue, so that that you'd more easily snipe monks and whatever. Not to mention that Eagle Warriors, they snipe siege with these and have resistance to monks play, so probably not going to see it here, but I'm just stating it as a potential for the Aztecs to go for. Let's see what the approach is here. HJ going up at 28 pop here, the Franks. Should still be enough given the Franks' small eco bonuses to, or see, actually kind of significant bonuses to drop 2 DCs instantly here. I'm going for cookies. Nice. Yeah, boom approach from the Chinese here as well. But with 5 on stone should mean that the castle isn't too far off here. I think the player for scouts fighting on the field here. Good game really wants to... Yeah, the monster is up already. Definitely will want to contest the relics here as the Lithuanians. And everybody knows that you don't want to give the Lithuanians the relics bonus easily. That's just 3 attack upgrades that's going to come in very handy. Scouts on the field for some map control here for good game. And basically good game and Oladeshek are the only players with any significant map presence for the time being. Some Eagle Scouts for Oladeshek as well. And they've actually found a weakness in Conqueror's Wall. That's funny. Kong deleted a bit, a bit too many of the walls here, so that would be actually a point of entry without having to break stone walls here. Only 2 villagers building a castle. But that's going up, it's within the walls, obviously. Castle already up for Thor here. He will be going for the Rattan Archers from the castle. And also, of course, dropping more TCs to extend the economy and protect resources inside of the walls here. Let me have a quick look if there are any relics collected yet. Not yet. So for now, just taking map control for the Russia F team, but they're also guarding the relics here with some scouts out on the field. So it doesn't seem like villains want to contest this all that much. They're playing more of the eco approach here. But Kong, yeah, it's also on 3 TCs, but he's probably producing some plumed archers, which could definitely contest the field. These are only Eagle Scouts, so the plumed archers should easily be able to snipe the Eagles here. Alright, so Rattan Archers and Scouts, and there are Eagle Scouts on the field from Oladeshek. But now villains, okay, they are contesting the field here. Rattan Archers just shredding these Scouts, not too surprisingly here, but they shouldn't leave the relic. Good reaction of good game though, to not run for the relic right away there with the monk, but steering away to maybe save the monk. They'll be needing some more presence on the map to deal with this, though. Maybe we'll have to need to see Lithuanians go for some knights here. The stable is already up. But suddenly the favor side switch here. 14 military for Kong, 9 for Thor, and the Rattan Archers should... Yeah, the Archer's presence on the field there should be... Oh, is that going to be a converted Rattan Archer? Okay. Value from that monk there. That's one Chinese Rattan Archer there. He's left betrayed his country and gone to join the Chinese. And he gets punished for that right now. There he goes. Are any relics collected yet? 1 relic for HA, 3 for good game, right? So that relics bonus is already more or less secured for the Lithuanians. 1 more relic here for good game, and we're looking at Paladins potentially with +4 extra attack over the Franks, which should give them the edge against the Franks, though Franks Paladins have more hit points total. Raid incoming, says Farman. Ah, boy. Wait, petards? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tor, what are you doing? Are you gonna break through here? Uh-oh. I made it! But how's he gonna get past here? Hello, Farmman! Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everyone. So, from one league caster to another one here. I'm casting League of Empires, which is a 3v3 league. That is basically, well, not quite the same setup as Farmman's League, but the points setup is the same in the sense that we play 2 games and you're granted points for each win and 3 points if you win both games. And thanks for the follows to Sir Isaac Sorrentine and Viking Rage AOE. Much appreciated. This is the first division, by the way. It's the top section, so we have players. Most of these are 1600, 1700. And Good Game has even touched upon the 2K, I believe, which maybe one of the teammates could confirm. We're fairly early into the arena game here. They're fighting for map control in the middle. Yeah, sure, Parman. Thanks for the raids. Much appreciated. And see you around for sure. And so what we just saw here when the raid entered was that Thor, he broke through here with petards, hoping to deal some damage for with the Rattan Archers, but the castle is just in the perfect spot here for Believe Me to stop that damage from happening. Although to check with the Imperial Age, I haven't been paying attention here with this. Yeah, 28 minutes. Not too soon, not too late. Good timing overall. Actually, most of the players are going into the Imp here, but this looks like a very strong push from Believe Me in the south. With 5 Captain Rams and another cast coming forward here. Good Game has made some lighties here, so that's going to counter Frank's cavalry play nicely as well. Good reaction from Thor here, though, to Stonewall behind it to see this coming. He's facing a 2v1 situation here now, and he's probably going to be able to hold off this for a while, hopefully long enough to have his pocket mass up his Imperial Age units here. Cavalier is on the way for HJFE, as we can see. He is going to have a struggle with lightest though, but with the Rattan Archers in the mix, maybe they could have a decent fight here after all. Yep, that would be Thor crying for help there on the way, just about to reach the Imperial Age. Frank's Cavalier joining the party, but with Lightis in the mix, that's not going to be an easy fight for them. Venturing dangerously close to Cavalier, but also distracting the Rams away here. I mean, the castle stays up, there's Trebs pushing it, and the Rams trying to break through. Or you will the beast. Careful what you're saying, man. All good. So the castle stayed up for a while, but now it goes down. That means that the Rattan Archers investment is... I mean, Thor needs a plan B here now. He doesn't have any castles for Rattan Archers. He'll need ranges, so he's gonna go into the Archers line units now, or maybe even... it has to be the Archers line units. Could be Imperial Skirmishers, of course, but that doesn't seem to apply here against anything else than the Chu-Go News. Thanks to Celso MH97 for the follow as well. Alright, so strong push on the south side here from Russia F with mass Lithuanians Cavalier, mainly some lighties in the mix as well. Shukalus and the heaps of siege rams here, likely to demolish anything that Thor has on the field here, I think. Okay, HJ is taking some presence in the middle of the map. Well, Laddershek in the meantime has gone into on the gear to cut through the trees up north. And to run in with Elite Eagle Warriors to hunt down the Mayans here. Kong does have a decent chunk of Blue Archers though, but is it enough to deal with this mass of Elite Eagles? This would be Russia F's home map. Ooh, so such strong offenses from Russia F on both sides here. To the south side, the siege ram have broken through, and yeah, not looking good for VLNS here. Thor is taking a serious beating, and Paladin is in for HAP. That's a good Paladin timing there, beating the Lithuanians to it. Could deal with the Rams here, but there might not be enough Chukonus. The Chukonus will be dealing significant damage to the cavalry here, and Paladin will kick in for the Lithuanians as well. Yeah, Kong was streaming this live, just for fun, you're right. So look at the stats here. Frank's Paladin, 14 plus 2, they're missing the Imperial Age attack upgrade for now, but they have 192 HP, whereas the Lithuanian ones have 140, they're just Cavaliers, they're about to be Paladin. So let's see what happens. But they have so much more attack, 14 plus 8. And they can run in front of the Chukonus to deal with the... yeah, to block the Frank's Paladins so that the Chukonus are allowed to deal damage. Good Arbalest numbers by Thor here though. Is really getting army numbers massed here. But the gold seems to be a struggle having the base breached like this. On the top side, Kong is still holding. He did not allow Oladeshek to break completely through the woodlines here. So the Eagles can't run into raid just yet. Obviously, Kong will need to stay at home and defend here. And the Onagers... good hit, Oladeshek. Just wanting to even out the odds here a bit. Do not just firing so fast as well, actually focusing down the Onagers here. Nice micro Kong. So, huge battle in the north here as well, but Elite Eagle Warriors with Garland Wars here, meaning +5 attack for the Aztec. That's gonna hurt for the Blue Archers here, especially with Onagers in the mix that you need to focus down as well. Yeah, that's a tough one for Kong to deal with. And look at Thor's home base here. It's just been shredded, ripped apart here by the raiding forces. Lithuanian's Paladin is in now, as mentioned. They have 180 HP, so that is 12 less HP than the Franks Paladins. However, the Franks have now have 4 less attack due to the Lithuanians having enough relics to max out on that bonus. Great production from both pockets here. So it's going to be a bloodbath for a while still, but the fact remains that Thor's base has been completely compromised and breached here, and he's forced to reboom, while Russia F haven't really been hurt at home at all. Yeah, so production capabilities might go down for Believe Me again here. Top side, Kong is kind of holding. He still has more than decent Elite Blue Archers numbers here. So the Garland Wars, Elite Eagle Wars have not been allowed to reach Kong's base yet. But looking at the villager count though, if you look at the collected villagers, I'm thinking that villains are probably 50-60 villagers behind at least by now, and the eco of Russia F has been stable throughout more or less the whole game here, so that's just going to escalate. Villains are not someone to give up lightly though. They are down one game. It is 1-0 for Russia F this far. HJ still has Paladin numbers working as well, but he's essentially fighting a 1 vs 2 versus the joint forces of Believe Me and Good Game here. Oh, and look at the purple movement in the north here. Kong is going to be raided to the death by Elite Eagle Warriors here. Just like that, Kong forever did lose probably quite a chunk of his villagers here. He's still above 100, but he needs to deal with these raids, so his armies cannot go for any counter-offensive anytime soon. HJ with some middle presence here. And some very exposed farm eco here that could be punished off good game, but at this point in the game I think it doesn't matter too much. It's noble efforts by villains here, and now quite a few of the Chukonus and Paladins will go down here, but that extra attack's just doing so much work still here for a good game, who still has that solid production behind this. There's no, as far as I can see, there isn't any trade running yet, but they're mining gold down south here. Taking Thor's gold, thank you very much, says Russia F. And yeah, we just see the power of relics for Lithuanian Paladins at work here. Shredding the Franks in even-ish numbers here. Population for Thor is down to 53 and he's about to be housed as well. He's trying a new reboom to the side here, so he's not one ready to give up just yet. Russia F are in the meantime are preparing trade so they could get some consistent gold access once the markets are up and the trade starts going, and that's not going to be an option for villains just yet. They're simply down one player at this point. And Russia F just keep pushing here with Trebs and Chukonus and Lithuanian Paladins. And of course Olalashek doing his thing in the north here with the Elite Eagle Warriors, just making life a living hell for Conqueror here, who will eventually lose his Plumed Archers numbers. GG is called. It will be a 2-0 for Russia F. And by all means, GG, well played to both teams for an asset that ends 2-0 for Russia F in the end. So let's browse through the stats here. Solid Lithuanians KD there, HJ with many units killed as well, but did lose more overall. Fantastic largest armies for both Kong Forever and Believe Me with the unique unit approach here. And Kong's defense as well. Lost 138 units, killed 102. Quite a few of those were builders as well, so Kong did his part in defending his side. For a while there, solid economy for the Franks here. Actually kind of outmatching Lithuanians there. But then there's that +4 extra attack though, which becomes an issue for Franks in somewhat equal mass.